pa. How about if the example is like this? So we do have two constant terms here. If that is the case, since both negative 9 and 55 are constant terms, so we can combine it as one. Pwede natin siyang pagsamahin. So just like how we solve quadratic equation by extracting the roots, the first thing we are going to do is to move the constant term to the right side of the equation. So what will happen will be x squared is equal to 55 plus 9. The negative 9 will become positive now to the when we move it to the right side of the equation, because since it jumped the equal sign, so the sign will change. Or it is the same way that we made use of addition property of equality. You added 9 on the left side and you added 9 on the right side. So negative 9 plus 9 will be cancelled out. Then what we will have is just 55 plus 9 on the right side. Then 55 plus 9 is 64. Then we have to square both sides of the equation. We have to get the square root of both sides of the equation. So since 64 is a perfect square now, so we can easily get the square root now. So the square root of x squared is x. The square root of 64 is 8. Again, we are not only going to get its principal root, but also its negative root. So para hindi kayo malito, right away, when you are solving quadratic equation by extracting the roots, susulat mo agad yung positive, negative, then yung square root of a certain number. So the solution to the given example of number 6 are positive 8 and negative 8. Did you get example number 6? Let's try another example. So let's have your example number 7. The given is x squared minus 15 is equal to 14. A similar example to example number 6. So what we're going to do, move the constant term, move negative 15 rather to the right side of the equation, and it will become x squared is equal to 14 plus 15. 14 plus 15 is equal to 29. So that's why we have to get the square root now of both sides of the equation. So we know that x squared, square root of x squared is equal to x. But if we're going to look at 29, 29 does not have factors where one of its factors is a perfect square. So if that is the case, it is not like the same the other numbers that numbers that we find factors where one of its factors is perfect square. In the case of 29, there are no factors of 29 wherein one of its factors is a perfect square. So that's why when we are going to solve number 7 for the square root of 29, it will stay as square root of 29. Yung nga lang, we're just going to add positive and negative of it. So put positive and negative before square root of 29. Because 29, as I was saying, does not have factors anymore wherein one of its factors is a perfect square. So it will stay as it is. All you have to do is just add positive, negative before that square root of that certain number. So that's how we answer number 7. Next, number 8. How about in the case of number 8? That is x plus 5 plus b squared is equal to 64. So in the case of number 8, we are going to, since it's a binomial term, or what we call as a square of binomial, so we are going to treat x plus 5 there as one term. That was raised to the second power. It's just like x squared is equal to 64. So we are going to treat x plus 5 as one term, then was raised to the second power. So that we can make use of extracting the roots. Paano? What we have to do is to get the square root of both sides of the equation right away. Then in that case, diba, when we get the square root of x squared, the answer is x, maka-cancel yung square root sign, pati yung 2. So ganun din mangyayari dito. When you get the square root of the quantity of x plus 5, so maka-cancel din yung 2, yung square root sign, then 2, ang matitira ay x plus 5. And on the right side, since we are going to find the square root of 64, so 64 is a perfect square, we can come up with square root of 64, which is positive negative 8. But we're not yet through. Why? It's because there is still constant term together with x. That plus 5. That plus 5 here, we still have to simplify it because this 5 and this 8 are both constant terms. So we still have to combine them as 1. Yun nga lang, since positive negative 8 yan, para hindi tayo malito, we have to separate both equations. So we can come up by move, the first thing what we're going to do is to move the constant term positive 5 to the right side of the equation. Then it will become x is equal to negative 5 plus or minus 8. Pwede mo namang hindi na pag-iwalayin, pero mas malinaw kung pag-iwalayin natin siya. That plus or minus there, you have to separate it for us to come up with the right solutions. This is one example wherein our answer is not always the same expression na pinagkaiba lang is yung sign. Isa ay positive, isa ay negative. Ito, it's a different case. Because meron pa tayong 5 dito, it's not that we can say right away that the answer is positive negative 8. So we still have to combine for similar terms because this is a constant term. So move it to the right side of the equation. You can move it after 8 or you can move it before 8. Ganun din naman yun sa mga nauna eh. When you move, you can do it or you can move it before that number or after that. So, when you move positive 5 to the right side of the equation, it will become negative 5 because once it jumps the equal sign, the sign will change. And also, we made use of subtraction property. So, let us separate the two solutions of the equation. This positive negative here, we are going to separate it. So, we're going to form two solutions. So, that is x is equal to negative 5 plus 8 and x is equal to negative 5 minus 8. So, ito yung positive, ito yung negative 8. So, in that way, we can easily answer the given equation. So, for the first equation, this one, when you are going to answer negative 5 plus 8, so we'll come up with an answer which is 3. And when you get the answer to negative 5 and minus 8, you come up with the answer which is negative 13. So look at its solutions. It's not the same as, it's not same number na pinagkaiba ay positive, negative. It's two different numbers. So one of the solution is 3, the other solution is negative 8. You have any questions? Now let's have this example number 9 for you to understand it more clearly. Similar example to number 8. X minus 12 quantity squared is equal to 121, or the square of the difference of x minus 12 is equal to 121. So the first thing we're going to do is we have to square right away. Square both sides of the equation. Or let's find the square root of both sides of the equation right away. So on the left side, when we get the square root of the difference of x minus 12, what will be left is just x minus 12 because the radical sign or the square root sign as well as the 2 will cancel out. So what will be left is x minus 12. But on the other side, since 121 is a perfect square, so we just have to find out the root of it. So the square root of 121 is 11. But as I was saying, we are not only getting the positive root, but also the negative root. So that's why it's positive, negative 11. But looking at on the left side, it still has negative 12 here, a constant term. Positive and negative 11 is also a constant term. So we have to combine the two to come up with the final answer. So we have to move negative 12 to the right side of the equation, so that will become x is equal to 12 plus or minus 11. Then this plus or minus, we are going to form two equations separating this plus or minus. So we'll come up with the first equation as x is equal to 12 plus 11. Ito yung plus, while another equation is x is equal to 12 minus 11. Ito yung minus. Ito yung nandiyan kanina. Pinaghiwalay natin para malaman natin ng mas malinaw yung solutions to a given quadratic equation. When we answer this, x is equal to 12 plus 11. That will be equal to 23. While x is equal to 12 minus 11, that is equal to 1. So, the solutions of a quadratic equation to a given quadratic equation are 23 and 1. So that's how we solve a quadratic equation by using extracting the roots.